Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. I was going to deal with this yesterday, but I had my podcast with Graham Nolan, and it was something that I was excited about. A childhood hero of mine, getting to be able to talk to them, chat about them about various things. So I didn't want to touch this. I just wanted some positivity in my day yesterday. Well, they're all compounding each other today. My God, we've got pick of some. And Ray Fisher, Cyborg, in the Justice League movie, is essentially showing what a little bitch he really is. And, of course, doing it under the guise of accountability. But let's just be honest, this is more attempt at cancel culture. And I would say that this is probably a very, very selfish attempt at cancel culture in an effort to advance themselves at somebody else's expense. Going back to the 1st of July, we were at a very specific point in 2020. Stuff was going on. Sales of brand new windows were going through the roof. Yes. And also fire extinguishers. They were doing very well on Amazon. And of course, we're slap bang in the middle of BLM. So, Ray Fisher comes out with some accusations, but only accusations, against Joss Whedon, saying that his behaviour on the set of Justice League was, to quote him, gross, abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable. He was enabled in many ways by Jeff Johns and John Berg. Now, he might have thought that due to the current day situation, this was going to get a lot of exposure, or there's going to be some life out of this. Now, certainly got some retweets and some likes, but in terms of news, in terms of anything developing from it, it died very, very quickly indeed. Very quickly indeed. But it was probably helped along because Ray didn't come out with any specifics whatsoever. And even though we're in the middle of cancel culture, even though we have plenty of people going out there almost on a daily basis, trying to destroy people's lives with no evidence whatsoever, this is so vague, that most people probably thought, we're waiting for you to follow up. Here's Steph, our little Steph. Tea report. No tea. There was no tea whatsoever. So, we get to July 25th. And guess what? It's Variety again. Coincidence. It's Variety again, following up with Ray Fisher. Ray Fisher to Joss Whedon, sue me for slander if Justice League abuse allegations are untrue. Now, regardless of, I haven't got particularly any love for Joss Whedon. With that said, I don't have anything against Ray Fisher. But if you're in a position in Hollywood, you're not going to take this bait. This is bait and nothing more. It's essentially trying to say, I know that you're not going to do anything about this, but this makes my position apparently look stronger because you won't do anything. Nobody's going to go to court over this. Something very specific has to be said for that to happen. A court is just going to waste both people's time and money, and nothing will come of it. But once again, nothing materialized from this. This news vanished very, very quickly indeed. And so it's pretty sad to see that 6 weeks after the first allegation, July 1st, 6 odd weeks after that, we get another tweet yesterday from Ray Fisher. Now moving on from Joss Whedon, maybe thinking that he can find a weaker target in Jeff Johns. During the LA reshoots for Justice League, Jeff Johns summoned me to his office to belittle and admonish my and my agents' attempts to take grievances up the the proper chain of command. He then made a thinly veiled threat to my career. This behaviour cannot continue. And then he does A is greater than E again, which I think means arseholery is greater than evidence by the looks of it. Some guy replied, why, grow some balls, princess. Don't know who that is. Clearly somebody that needs cancelling as well. Now, what's even worse about this is this attempt is even weaker than the Joss Whedon one. Look, Jeff Johns summoned me to his office to belittle and admonish me. My attempt, to take up agreements with the proper chains of command. Okay. Belittling to you might not be belittling to somebody else. Maybe Jeff Johns was just talking straight facts at you. You know? Maybe your idea of abuse, maybe your idea of gross behaviour or misconduct or something like that is a normal person's shut the fuck up. You're dealing with a Hollywood movie. You're dealing with a situation where hundreds of $millions are at stake here. And if the director can't get what they want, we hear stories all the time of directors shouting, screaming, camera, all these different people. And that's because it's a high-pressure situation. Very high-pressure situation. Particularly when your potential career could ride on it. Now, Joss Whedon came in, the only kind of positive thing I can say is he when I say positive, I mean positive, and it's not really Joss's fault. He came in at a really difficult time. Quite a bit of the film had already been filmed. And he took over from Zack Snyder, who, had a tragedy in his family, which I'm not going to go into. And the situation must have been terrible for everyone. Terrible for the crew, terrible for the cast, and, pretty terrible for Joss, who was coming in to try and salvage some of this movie, change this movie, whatever. When it came out, it was what it was, But Jeff Johns is a tremendous comic book writer. There's no denying that whatsoever. When he puts pen to paper, that guy can write the shite out of stuff. He truly can. It's very, very rare that we'll get a miss with him. And to me, he's produced some of the best work in recent times. He's right up there. When it comes to his move to Hollywood, sure. Been very miss. But he's recently done Stargirl, and for all intents and purposes, that's actually not been that bad. It's been decent. It's not been great, but it's been decent. It's certainly a lot better than anything that you'll see on the CW by a country mile. And the second half of the season was much, much better than the first half of the season. It was a slow mover, but it progressed nicely, and we had some tremendous episodes towards the back end, ladies. But this is just nonsense. This is just nonsense. And maybe this thinly veiled threat to my career could have been Jeff Johns simply saying, look, if you try and take this higher, people are going to look at you and go, look at this troublemaker. Look at this person that's trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. Look at this person who doesn't appreciate the opportunity that they were given. This person doesn't appreciate that there are hundreds of millions of dollars riding on this because films aren't going so well in the DC universe right now and Marvel are knocking it out of the park and we need a score. So if you go to the top with this, you might find yourself not working again. So he could be giving him some good advice. We don't know. And why don't we know? Because once again, Ray Fisher produces nothing. Nothing. No specifics, no examples, doesn't go deeper into it. And we have, after we've got past some of my people that might be with me, we just get person after person going, oh yeah, thank you for speaking out. We support you, Ray. You're amazeballs, Ray. You don't know what was said. You are the epitome of a sheep. Just because Ray comes out with something so vague. You're all in for Harley Quinn? That's not how it should be. Ray's also going about it the wrong way. You want to go onto Twitter and bitch like a little bit, because this is bitching. This is bitch made. Ray's a little bitch for doing this. You want to come on Twitter and go to the cancellation mob, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to drum up the cancellation crew. You're trying to work up the people to start getting their pitchforks out, getting their tiki torches out, and storming to the gates of what's left of DC or Warner and saying, down with Jeff Johns, down with Joss Whedon. That's what you're trying to do. You're a little bitch. You're just like Cyborg. You have no balls. And without giving any specifics whatsoever, without going into any detail, you are potentially, once again, trying to ruin somebody's career because your fifis got hurt. What haven't we heard? Heard nothing from Henry Cavill. Heard nothing from Ben Affleck. Nothing from Gal Gadot. Nothing from Chokey McChokeface. Nothing. But little Ray got his feelings hurt. Now, if something legitimately bad was said, and you can support this with other people, then you've got to come out with specifics. Otherwise, you come across like a bitch. And we're sick and tired of this sort of emasculated behavior from people. This isn't what a man does. This is what a boy does. This is what a child does. This is what a bitch does. And you don't want to be a bitch now, do you? I think I said the word bitch enough. I hope so. So there we go. Ray Fisher's hammering a cry because his fifis got hurt and he's got no evidence and he's been a bitch. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do get a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming links. They're in the description box down below, and I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.